Okay, I was interrupted during that last video. What I was doing was creating a fill stitch teardrop shape, and I don't particularly like it. Whoops. It's not just quite suiting me. Alright, maybe that's a little better. Alright, let's see, let's make this gray. And I'm going to back it up where you can see it a little bit. Ooh, a little too far. Let's look at it in 3D. Now, we need 6 of these. There is a command up here in the transform menu, transform the tab. You highlight the thing that you want to repeat and go down to auto repeat. Now I never get this to work perfectly. They won't wind up exactly like they are in that picture, but we tell it we want them in a circle, and we tell it we want 6 of them. I'm mystified by this gap stuff. I never get it to work right. Anyway, preview. Now look, we've got pretty much the thing made. I'm going to generate the stitches. Now it's all of them are selected. I'm going to move them to the center. Let's turn on our normal view so I can see the things. See, it didn't do it exactly like they're done in the picture, but we can always move them. And when you do them with that command, rather than digitizing them, copying and pasting and all that, they're angled the right direction. You might have to move them, but they're angled in the right way you need them. You could just digitize them all individually. It wouldn't matter. Alright, well, let's see. Well, it's not a very attractive color scheme, but nevertheless, let's move on. If we wanted a border around this, we could click the circle and go up here to convert and tell it to create an outline from the fill. We don't want that inside outline. We only want the outside outline. But there it is. And we can generate those stitches. And then there's a little outline that goes right around. You might be careful about getting slap happy with outlines, because the stitches do pull your fabric, and sometimes your outline won't meet your stitching if the stabilization hasn't been good. What if you wanted a thicker outline around it? What if you wanted a satin outline? Let's see here. We would click on our outline. We right click it, go to parameters, tell it to do satin stitches, and make them 3.5 millimeters wide. See that? We can do the same thing with the white thing. We can tell it to create an outline from the fill. Then we can go in and change the parameters of the outline to satin stitches. Let's make this one 3. And then we could select all of these at once, convert, create outline from fill. We can click on them, change the parameters to 2.0 satin stitches. And there we go. Now, I don't like these blunt tips on these petals. We can get away from that by taking these 6 outlines, these 6 that we've got, let's convert them back to, change them back to single stitches. And then let's convert these single stitches to a column, 2.0 width. That's a pretty skinny little outline. Let's right click them. Let's just click the whole, generate the whole thing. It won't hurt. Now notice, using the column method rather than the satin stitch method, we get these pointy things on the ends of our teardrops. They look okay. You can, but let me show you about a column stitch. Let's just pick that one. Get it up here where you can see it. A column stitch has 2 edges. Edit it. Look, 2 edges. Look over here. There's a little window, A, B, and C. This refers to the little dots on the icons there, refer to these little dots here. I don't know exactly how A and B differ. C makes everything move together. Look, see this line here? This is the direction of the stitches. When I drag on it, the whole thing goes. If I move it that way, the whole thing goes. The stitch angle never changes. See that little dotted line? Now, if I want to change the angle of those stitches, I can go to B and I can drag just one of them so that those stitches slant a little differently. Then I could move that so that my line is back in a good shape. I'm going to generate these stitches and show you how those are tilted right there. Well, can't see it. I guess I didn't tilt them enough. Anyway, you could work on the tail end of this thing down here just a little bit if you wanted to. This is where I started and stopped, so there's a split right there. It's probably not the best place to start and stop, but that's what I did. So I'm going to close the edges back and see if that does any better. Yeah, see, that makes a neater little point on that. Let's do that on this one. We'll just move these up a little bit. Now see, if we were to use C, we'll do that on the next one. If we were on option C up here, when we grab that bottom line, things get wonky up in the top. Watch. Well, it didn't do it. Yeah, it did. See, it's not a point anymore. It's 2.0 millimeters wide everywhere. Whereas if we do B, we can pull this in. I probably just messed up my thing there. We'll see. Yeah, I messed it up. Anyway, that's how you do that. Let's talk about jump stitches. Right now, all of these are ending. Well, let's talk about something different. Hold on. We would want to move these outlines up to the thing that's being outlined. So you want the thing and the outline, and the thing and the outline, and I just put that one in the wrong place. If you'll notice, there are scissors here indicating jump stitches or trims. In this case, it would be jump stitches since they're all the same color. But as I move these around, these stitches go, the scissors go away for these. That's because they're both stopping and starting in the same place, and they don't have to have, the machine doesn't have to jump, so there's not a jump stitch. Oops. I moved the wrong outline. That was a single stitch outline. This is our, we don't even need those single stitch outlines. These are our column outlines. You can get rid of those single stitch ones. You can tell what they are right there. Off to the side. See, it says single stitch. Alright, I'm going to pretend we've done all that. The next thing that you have to do once you get your design like you want it, and this is not like I want it, I would do some things different. I would put me a little cap up here and a little hanger, or maybe a bow, who knows. But when you get the design like you want it, you need to save it. Save it somewhere that makes sense. Then the next thing you need to do, these are not really stitches, these are pictures of stitches. To get the real stitches, you have to compile it. Compile and put into editor. You can do that with that little button right there. And wait a minute. I want the PES format. If you have a Milco, you need EXP. If you have something else, you can save it in a bunch of different formats all at the same time if you want to. Right now we're just going to do one. Call it round 3. There it is in 3D. Someday. There it is. We can close it. You can watch it sew if you want to. There goes the original stitch, your outline. You can run it forward by dragging that thing. You can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can close it. And that's all. That's your ornament with the pretend thing. Hope the video did you some good. If you got any specific topics you would like addressed, let me know. I sell embroidery designs on Etsy. It's called S Fancy Machine Embroidery. Check them out. Thank you. Bye.